Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thank you very much for joining me for this week's Friday Sews video, where I'll talk about what I have been sewing, what I will be sewing and a little bit of life as well. So as always, a huge thank you to Jen from Today and Jen Seringham for coming up with that wonderful hashtag. So as I said, thank you very much for joining me again for another week, and a huge thank you as well to everybody who watched any of my videos last week. I got a great response from my third instalment of the French Seams favourites, which was tops, so I'll link it up here and down below. That was part 3, and part 4, the final part in the mini series, is going to be coming out to you next week. So I really enjoyed making those videos, delving into the archives of what I made and what I still make and wear. It's been really good fun, and thank you to everybody for watching that. So I hope you're all well. I hope you all had a great week. My week was good. It started off with a lovely dinner out with some buddies last week, and I wore my Kelly dress, the green and white one that I wore to Stitch Festival, which I absolutely love. So I was so happy to give it another outing. Pop in a very dodgy toilet selfie here, but that was lovely. It was a really fun night and great to catch up with buddies. The weather here in Dublin has been marvelous all week. It's been absolutely glorious. Clear blue skies, sunshine. I'm looking out at it right now. I've had my washing line out. I've literally been having a wash on the line every single day. I've been wandering around the house looking for things to wash. It is just fabulous, and everybody is in much higher spirits because the sun is out. It's meant to break next week, but let's not talk about that. So in the meantime, yes, it's been wonderful. The boys have been loving it. They've been out and about all the time. We've been out on bikes every day. When they come home, they head straight into the garden and play out there, which is lovely to see. And I've been sitting out there doing my knitting, watching them, which is wonderful. So I get in a sneaky bit of crafty time when they're outside playing, which is great. So what else did we? Oh, we went to the zoo last week, which was wonderful. So we don't live too far from Dublin Zoo, and my boys absolutely love it. We have an annual pass, so we go quite a bit. But they've got this special thing out now. It's called Jurassic Trail, and it's an instalment there. I think it's until September, so if anybody is local or not so local to Dublin and is a dinosaur fan, it's basically these huge big animatronic dinosaurs. Some of them move, some of them roar, that kind of stuff, and they're scattered around the zoo, and they're actually really good fun. Baby French Seams was utterly terrified to start off with, and then he really got into it. He really enjoyed it. So it's really good fun. We got to see the animals. They were all out and about because it was bright and sunny, and we got to see some dinosaurs as well. So I'll pop in a few videos and pictures here. It was pretty good fun. So I don't think that'll be our last time going before the end of the summer. I really don't. Mr. French Seams has been traveling this week, so I've got a bit of sewing done, which is just wonderful. So that was my week. Will I catch you up on what I've been sewing and spin back to last week when I said, oh, I think I might be here wearing my new high cuff sweater. Well, ta-da! I made a high cuff sweater and it actually fits. So if you cast your minds back to the high cuff sweater I made last summer, I made a size small. Don't ask me why. And it was miles too small. I did try it on again this year, and it does fit just, but I'm not massively comfortable. I will still wear it because I love the fabric, but it's a little bit snug. So I said, right, this year I'm going to make a medium. I'm going to grade to a large. So I laid out my pattern pieces, laid out my old high cuff in a small, where I added 2 inches to the bodice and 2 inches to the sleeve. The medium is miles bigger. Like usually between sizes there's a small kind of gradation between each of the sizes. There seems to be a seismic shift between the medium or the small and the medium. So I didn't have to add any extra length to the sleeves. I didn't have to add any extra length to the bodice. So I made a medium at the shoulders and the bust, and then I graded to a large at the waist and the hips. And the fit is pretty perfect. So I had to look at the measurements. They're in centimetres, which hurts my brain anyway. But there seems to be a bit of a gap and a jump between small and medium. So I think I've now cracked this pattern. I absolutely love it. I'm really happy I gave it another go. So yeah, will I stand up and show you? So it's in this fabulous heart print fabric. I do have a tank top underneath because I think it's a little bit sheer. This fabulous red and pink viscose fabric from Rainbow Fabrics is going to be perfect for Valentine's Day next year. As a brand ambassador, I can offer you 20% off Rainbow Fabrics site-wide if you use my code here, Rachel !Mark VIP. So thank you very much for using that. I do get a small commission, so thank you. So I got this a couple of months ago, I think, and I really wanted to make a high cuff the second I got it. So it's a beautiful sweatshirt. It's a woven sweatshirt with a knit neckband, cuffs and hemband. So the neckband went in quite nicely. I basted first and then gave it a good steamy press, which I think helped a lot. So I want to use the contrasting red. It's got dropped shoulders, which are quite nice, and then just the cuffs as well. They're kind of, they do take a bit of gathering into the cuff, but I think it gives a beautiful finish. It's got bust darts, bust darts even. They point in the general direction. We'll fix that in the next one. But then the hemband is where it has its unique feature. So here's the hemband, and I put in label Imperfectly Perfect from Little Rosy Cheeks, which I think matches quite well, using the signature SSS, Sam's Satin Stitch. Sam, Solar Sparkle with Sam, has this wonderful method for putting on a label. If you spin back to her Vlogmas, she did a little coaster and she shows how to put on a little label on that coaster, and that's how I use that technique. It's fabulous. I'll link it below. Sam, you're a genius. So this is my little label. So hemband across here, and then at the back it's got this beautiful wide hemband here. So I'll try and stand back. Can you see there? So it goes kind of up onto your back a little bit, which is really, really nice. These are my Megan Nielsen Ash jeans, if anybody needs to ask. So I think it's a really, really pretty top, and I'm so delighted I've got the fit right now, because it takes about 1.5 meters of woven fabric. But if you have a beautiful viscose, I think this top is perfect. So yes, delighted. And I'm covered in threads. So hike up sweatshirt, love, love, love. Medium to a large, perfect. Sleeves and everything, absolutely perfect. So great. This is the assembly line, by the way. I should mention, I'll link everything below as always. I've also been working on my Sew April blouses. So my video for that is coming out in 2 weeks, but I wanted to get ahead of the game. So by the power of the internet, you'll see that video coming out to you soon. So I've been working away on those in the background. They're going quite well. It's good fun making blouses. I've been doing some knitting, as I mentioned before. So while the boys are playing, this is fabulous. You can't take your sewing machine. Oh, I've dropped my ball of wool. So while they're watching TV, I can't have my sewing machine out, so I can knit, which is wonderful. So I am so nearly finished. So these are my trusty toe-up socks, which I'm knitting 2 at a time in self-striping yarn. So, and this is them. So I do knit these inside out. It's come to my attention that I don't think that's usual. I'm new to this game, but I find it easier. So there's how I knit them inside out. I've got my beautiful Ethel and Joan stitch markers, which I love. And then this is the one that you can see that I've turned the right way out, and here it is, and I'm so happy with these. So they're coming out really well. There's my heel turned using the wrap and turn method, which I really like. I cast on using, oh, what's that magic cast on? Oh, I've forgotten that there's some magic cast on. I'll link it down below. It's absolutely brilliant to cast on your toe, which came out really, really well. And then I've just been working in stockinette stitch all the way up to the top. And you can see here that I've switched to 1x1 rib at the very, very top. On my other pair of socks, I did 2x2 rib. I think 1x1 looks much nicer. So I'm very happy with that. I would say I've got about 1/2 inch left to go, if that, to finish off these socks. So pleased with how they come out, and they are so beautifully warm, and so I know they're Christmas fabric, or Christmas yarn I should say, but I absolutely love them. So I'm almost finished with these. I would say I'll be finishing them this evening, or at least over the weekend. For those of you into the golf, it's Masters weekend, which is my husband's favourite week of the entire year. So he's been looking forward to this all year basically. So I won't get near the TV all this weekend. I would say I'll get an awful lot of sewing done, because he'll just be entirely focused. His mind will be in Augusta, Georgia. If anybody else can relate, let me know below. So that was my knitting. Oh yeah, so the way I finish that off, I'm going to be using Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. I shall be Googling it. So what else have I been sewing? The Mia Messenger bag. So I stayed up far too late sewing this last night, but I am loving it. It's a new pattern from BF Patterns. They're an offshoot of Blackbird Fabrics. I've made the Bestie bag twice. I absolutely love this. There are shades of the Bestie bag in this, definitely, but it's a much more involved make, but I am absolutely loving it. It takes an awful lot of time to cut out. It took me by surprise how long I was spending cutting it out. You've got all the main pattern pieces that then have to be interfaced. They have their own interface pattern pieces, then all the lining pieces. It did take quite a while to cut it all out, but once that's done, perfect. The construction is fabulous. I'm really, really enjoying it. I had to tear myself away last night to go to bed. The way they've done it, the way the notches line up, the method of construction, it's really, really clever, and I am loving it. So this is my zip. So that's the inside. That's my zip part that's almost done. So it's beautiful zip from I think I got that zip from Purple Stitches at Stitch Festival actually. And then I've got this gorgeous little thread tab that I got from Studio 77. This is I've basically constructed everything. It just needs to go together. This is my lining. So if I pop it out the right way so you can see, I did the welt pocket, which comes as part of the pattern. I added this gorgeous label, Bonjour Beauty. So then it's got the lovely zip, lovely welt pocket in there. And then I've got my beautiful homage to the 90s and my little dolphins. Then I did put on they call it a device pocket, and it's got a little bit of Velcro here. I imagine that's for like a MacBook or an iPad or something, so I ain't got one. So what I did was I did the device pocket, but I divided it. So I've got 2 lines of stitching here, and then this middle part of the Velcro fits my phone perfectly. And then I've got just 2 slip pockets. That was just one change I made. And then I also added a lanyard, which I always do. I think that's really, really handy. Little Rosy Cheeks label there. A lanyard with a little swivel thing to keep my keys. That I add those to all my bags. That's a Sarah Incomplete Stitches special. So I showed you the zip, showed you the lining, then the outside. So I made life so difficult for myself, but it's so worth it. This is the outside of the bag. So, and I've got this fabulous Sarah Hearts label here I got from a beautiful thing with the Stitch Festival. I love it, and I'm going to put on the matching zip pull when I'm finished. So this is the outside of the bag. So as you can see, I've done all the strap. I just need to hand stitch this bit here, and then these little facings. So then basically everything just slots in here. And you've got the front pockets here, which are great, these 2 roomy pockets. And this is done beautifully. It's almost like done by a facing on the inside. So that's a lining further down. Fabulous construction, so nice. I made life so difficult for myself because this is this kind of fabric. It's kind of fluffy, and you can see here that I basically melted it trying to attach my interfacing. I did it under a tea cloth. So I've made my life so difficult by using this fabric, but the fabric is so cool. I had this for a long time. I got this in the fabric counter to use as a lining for my Wildwood vest from Helen's Closet I made a couple of years ago, and I knew I had a good bit left over, and there was just enough to make this bag. And I think this fabric looks really, really cool in this. I made the medium length strap, and it seems to fit quite well. So yeah, I'm just really happy now with how it's going, and I just literally have to put in the zip and put in the lining. Wish me luck, but I will hopefully show this to you next week. But it's a fabulous, fabulous pattern. I'm really, really enjoying it. So that was all my sewing this week. What are my plans? So finish my socks, finish my Mia bag. I have some mending to do. Yeah, I know, I shouldn't complain. So Older French Seams, his bat hoodie, you might remember from Halloween. So they've both been wearing them loads. Baby French Seams is actually wearing his today. So this is the bat hoodie that I made them both at Halloween. So it's just the icon zip hoodie, and then it's got this little bat wing. So one of the bat wings has come awry. So it's come off. So it's literally this little hair bubble thing that's come off. So I need to fix that and reattach his wings. So he really wants to wear that again, which is great. So I need to do that. They both are either growing out of their tracksuits or putting holes in them. So this is Baby French Seams. He's got a big hole in his tracksuit. To be fair, this is a hand-me-down. It's been knocking around for at least 6 years. So I'm going to chop these off and make them shorts, especially considering the good weather. And then similarly with Older French Seams, these are his tracksuits, and he's growing like a weed. I had to take him to the shops the other day because he's grown out of all his clothes, and these are miles too small. So again, I've got a pair of his these are just a pair of his ready-to-wear shorts, and I'm just going to measure them and then chop these off into shorts that he can wear to school as part of his school tracksuit. So he's delighted about that. So he keeps reminding me, so I need to do that. So I've got mending to do. My next plan is for Easter. So fingers crossed I'm going away next week, but more on that next week, hopefully. And then it's Easter, so we're going to be staying with family. So quite busy over the next few weeks. So I would like to do some Easter sewing. So if you cast your minds back, I think 2 years ago, I made these little bunny bags for everybody at Easter, this way around. So there's his little nose, and it's a little bag, and you make these little ears and you tie it with those these little hair bubbles actually, which are very, very handy. And I fill these with chocolates, and we had them on our Easter table. I think they're really cute. I've now got another version of a bunny bag, which I found, which is super cute. I'll pop in a picture here. So I'm keen to make a couple of those for my boys and for presents and stuff at Easter. I think they're super, super cute. I think they're fat quarter friendly, so I'd love to get a few of those made up. And then also I found these carrot treat bags, which are utterly adorable, and you can fill them with jelly beans or whatever you like. So I'd love to make a few of those as well, both for the boys, and maybe I might make a few of those for our Easter table, because we're going to family for Easter. So I'd like to give them something when I arrive. You can never come empty-handed, can you? You can never, what's the phrase? Never go somewhere with one arm. No, never go somewhere with both arms the same length. No, always go somewhere with one arm longer than the other. Isn't that the phrase to imply that you're carrying something? Apologies. Right, so they are my bunny bags and my carrot treat bags that I like to get done this week. So I think that's really, really cute. I love a bit of Easter sewing, and it just means I have to buy chocolates and jelly beans, which is never a bad thing. Let's face it. So that is, oh yes, one more thing before I go. Apologies, I've just noticed on my notes. I mentioned last week about the Brindlin Twig raglan hoodie that I made older French seams. He absolutely loves it. And that sizing was in age 6 to 14. And the lovely Carrie from Thread Therapy messaged me and said, no, baby's French seams can definitely use that. Look at the link you put in your vlog. So completely by accident, I had printed off the age 6 to 14. Unbeknownst to me, there is a 0 to 6-year-old pattern available as well. So thank you very much, Carrie. Mystery solved. So anybody who now wants to make that from a 0 age up to 14 can now do it. I will link both below. So thank you very, very much for highlighting. And Baby French Seams is going to be delighted because he'll be getting a raglan hoodie very soon as well. So thank you for keeping me honest. I love it. So yeah, absolutely fabulous. Free raglan hoodie pattern. It's fabulous. I would highly, highly recommend it. Hello everyone. So I was editing the vlog and there was a knock at the door and I got some very, very happy post. So there's a very lovely lady called Rita. I'll pop in a link actually below. She was over in England from America and she spent some time with Cara, and Cara has a beautiful vlog all about the gorgeous day they spent together. So I'd encourage you to watch that video. But Rita very, very kindly said that she had sent me a few little presents, which was completely unexpected and just so lovely. So it's arrived. Will you open it and see what's inside? So I've got my scissors here ready. Rita, you're so kind. Thank you so much. So let's open this. Right, hopefully I cut out all that rustling. So it's in a beautiful little purple bag. I know somebody who'd like that bag. And let's see. So look at this. Oh my word. So just know from Cara, thank you very, very much explaining what it is. Thank you, Cara, for being the wonderful post lady. Look at this. This is just gorgeous. So there's a little post-it note on it. So there's all really, really cool fabrics on this. Wait till you see. So look, I've never seen prints like these. These are amazing. This one is little ladies. Look at that one. I love it. And this one, oh, look at this. This little sewing one. Oh my word, these are incredible. I must ask her, the designer behind these. Oh, look at this measuring tape. They are fabulous. Black with multicolored buttons. Oh, this is just gorgeous. And this one, all the little teachers and everything. Oh my word, they are just gorgeous. Oh, look, a little sciencey lady. These are fabulous. Oh, look at all this. Look at the selvage on it. These are incredible. I've never seen anything like this. Rita, thank you so much. That was so very, very kind and generous of you. And yeah, that's just made my day now. I'm going to spend ages looking at these. They're all so different. They are fabulous. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And you're always so kind and so lovely and commenting and watching on these vlogs. So thank you. And yeah, these are just fabulous. Thank you so much. I will treasure them. And Cara, thank you very much for getting them to me as well. So thank you both ladies. What a happy post day. On that note, I will leave you go and thank you very, very much for joining me. If you would like to give me a comment on anything you've seen below, or if you just like a little bit of a chat, let me know what you're working on. Let me know if those little Easter sewing treats are right up your alley like they are with me. If you like this video, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up, and please also consider subscribing. I would love to have you along. I hope you all have a lovely week. I hope you all get some lovely sunshine or some nice weather where you are. I hope you all have some time for some lovely, lovely sewing, and I will talk to you all again very soon in another video. Take care everyone. Bye.